Hey guys, so I'm here today to answer the questions that you guys asked me on my 50 subscriber video. I got several questions from a bunch of different YouTubers, and I really appreciate you guys asking my questions and supporting me, because I'm really interested in seeing what you are curious to know, and I'll definitely answer every single one. So I didn't get too many, so I don't think it'll be an issue for it to be under 15, but just in case it is, if there is a part 2, please check that out if you're interested. So I'm going to go right away and start it. And the first question is from HatesK24. And her question was if I like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro better. And I'm going to have to say that I like Spyro a little better. But honestly, I'm not really a fan of either of them. I just don't really like their games too much. That's just me. But yeah, if I have to pick one, it'd be Spyro just because he's a dragon. Next question is from Koopa213. Hey buddy. And his question was, what is my first console, and what was the first game for that console? And my first console was the N64, and the first game was Super Mario 64. And the problem with that was because I just started with one of the best games for the console, so it really couldn't get better. I think the only game that really made it better for me was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. But yeah, that was the first game I played for the console. I played the heck out of the game. I probably found every star, if not only have a few more. I think the only star I haven't gotten was like the however many coins, the red coins in the flying zone or whatever. But other than that, I found basically every star. So yeah, that's my first console and first game. And Jimmy Classy asked, what's the most frustrating game I've ever played? And that's a tough one because I don't really get frustrated over too many games. But if I had to pick one, it'd be The Hobbit for the GameCube. Just because, not really so much for the gameplay, even though there was some tough platforming elements that I'd always seem to like fall and have to redo for half hour or so, which did get frustrating. But it would be because I lost my save file 3 times. One was from being overwritten myself, like I did it by accident. The other time was my dad did it by accident. And the other time was my friend did it by accident. And all 3 times I was far into the game and I had to restart all over again. And so that really sucked. But yeah, that was the most frustrating game I've ever played for that reason. But other than that, it really wasn't too frustrating. A few tough platforming elements, but yeah, I mean that would be my most frustrating. Alright, so Batroid Attack, if that's how it's pronounced, asked if I've bought any import games before, and the quick answer to that question is no. I have looked at a few games, but I've never really been interested in purchasing them. I've looked at more European games for like the PSP, some RPGs, but that's about it. I haven't bought any though. The next question is from the Kyle0430. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get to that question, back to you, Batroid. A friend of mine was actually thinking of I wasn't gonna pay for them, but he's getting rid of his collection, and he was gonna send me a bunch of PAL PS2 games. So, I mean, they're technically imports, but I'm not really gonna buy them. But if he ends up doing that, I'll make a video specifically for them, so you can check that out. Alright, so the Kyle0430 asked which is my most memorable game of my childhood, and that would be Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64. And I do play that a lot. I still do. I play it probably, I don't know, at least about 4 times a month, at least. Because I mean, I really enjoy it. It doesn't get old with me. If you guys are curious, my favorite temple would be the one in Gerudo Valley, the Sand Temple. You fight like the 2 witches. That one was really cool. And also like the Shadow Temple from the graveyard. Those are my 2 favorites. Probably because of the music too. Really sets a cool atmosphere. Nothing to do with the question, but figured I'd just add that in. Alright, this is from Air Force Raider Gamer. And he asked my favorite game and from the system that I play most often, and what is the system I play most often. So what is the system I play most often, and what's my favorite game for that system? I would probably play my retro systems a lot more if I had more games for them, because I really don't. I used to play the NES and N64 more than other systems, or more the NES when I had a lot of games for it, and then it got flooded. So lately I've been playing the Xbox 360 a lot more, And my favorite game for the Xbox 360 is hands down The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. That game got me into RPGs in general, and now RPGs is my favorite genre, hands down. Beautiful world. I don't know. I loved every second of it, everything about it. So that is easily my favorite game for the system. And for the next question, or the next few questions, they asked what my favorite game is. There you go. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is my favorite game. So now we got Geeker Days. Hey, Geeker Days, and he asked, what's the significance of my name, Gibbotron09? And if you guys don't know, my last name is Gibson, and so I don't know, just Gibbo. That's kind of a nickname people call me. I don't like it too much, but I don't know, I just did Gibbo. And then once we were, when I was a little kid, we would play robots, like in the backyard, pretend we were robots, and everyone would say that I should be Gibbotron as my robot name. So I just did that, and then I was thinking of a gaming channel, and I thought, I don't know, Gibbotron, and then I did 09 just because 9 is my favorite number, and I don't know, I like the O before it. So yeah, just Gibbotron09, there's the origins of Geeky Days, and anyone else who was curious. And he had another question, and it's just the best deal I've ever gotten from a thrift store or trade, and I have really never gotten a really great deal from a thrift store. I mean, I've gotten a few games for like GameCube games for $1, which is a pretty good deal. Excuse me. I got that PSP deal with my friend, in which if he didn't actually watch the video after like a second time, excuse me guys, or something, then yeah, I actually gave him a little more money and traded him a few PS2 games since he has a PS2, because I don't know, I didn't think the value was too fair after thinking about it, and I wanted to give him a little more. But I guess that'd be my best trade if you wanted to consider that trade. But other than that, I really haven't had too many great deals yet. I mean, I've had some good finds with the Sega Master System, but that's not really a trade or a thrift store find. So, sorry about that answer to Geek Your Days, but that's just the way it is. My bad, man. And the next one is from, I think it's pronounced Bakemon13. I think that might be it. I might be wrong. His first question was my favorite game, and my favorite game would be Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, like I said before. And he asked my view, what's my view in censorship in games, what I think of censorship in games. I don't really think much of it, actually. I mean, it doesn't really, I don't like mind like things like violence and whatever, because I know I can handle it and not go like out of control from it. I think I'd rather it be censored. There's no reason to really show something like that, just for kind of like lust reasons in a way. So I mean, why not censor it? There'd be less arguing and less like frustration for parents if people would just censor it, and probably would end up being more people playing the game. Because I know like kids always like want to play Grand Theft Auto and their parents are like, no, that game's inappropriate. Well, if Rockstar just censored the game, I think they may have more players. Even though I don't know if the older people would play, because I know there probably are some people who play just for the lack of censorship in the game. But I don't know. I don't really have much of a view on that, but that was just kind of my take a little bit. And his third question was, do I hate bugs? And the answer is yes. I highly despise bugs. I'm not too frightened of them, but if I had found a bunch of bugs on the floor, I'd jump a little bit. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of bugs, but yeah, I don't really like them. And the next question is from Pokemon 5236987412003. That is a mouthful, buddy. And he asked if I collect comics, and I don't collect comics, but if I were to find, I'll say, a good stash of comics, I'd pick them up and maybe start collecting comics, but I haven't just yet. And he asked, is it easy to find games at a thrift store? I think it really depends on your luck in the games and the thrift stores in your area. I have about one thrift store 10 minutes away, and they don't even do electronics. They do only like home electronics, I guess. So yeah, not easy for me to find games at thrift stores unless I go pretty far away. And even like then, like I asked my parents, can I go to, such and such place that's 30 minutes away to go to a thrift store, and they'll say every once in a while yes. And sometimes I won't even find anything at the thrift store, so that's why they don't want to like drive and take a chance of me not finding anything sometimes. So once I get my license, it'll probably be a little easier. But if you don't have a license and you don't have really many electronic thrift stores in your area, then it is pretty tough. At least for me, it's tough anyway. So it's tough to collect for me. And the last group of questions is from the Oldest School Gamer. How's it going, man? And his first question was, when did I get interested in gaming? And I say interested in gaming in general would be when I got my N64. I don't even remember getting it, but I remember playing it a lot. And that was when I became interested in the actual playing the games, and then I became even more when I actually bought my own GameCube. But when I started collecting, I actually started collecting the day that I made the introduction video in my channel. And I mean, I don't like that video. Looking back, that is probably my least favorite video on this channel. I made a reintroduction to kind of set my theme more and know what I want to do. And so, but yeah, that was when I started collecting. So it's probably been, I don't even know if I've looked back. It's probably been about a month and a half since I started collecting. That's why I don't really have such a big collection, because usually people start when they're, got a nice collection of games, but that's not what I'm doing. So number 2, favorite game, The Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And number 3, how often do I get angry at games? Like I said with Jimmy Classy's question, the most frustrating game I've played is The Hobbit, but I don't get frustrated at games too often at all. I guess if there's a certain part of the game that I'm trying to get through and I just can't do it, I guess I get a little frustrated about that. But other than that, I don't get frustrated at all, really. So I thank you all for asking questions. I really enjoyed reading through them and answering them. Some good questions in there. So yeah, please check out my other videos if you like. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you'd like as well. And thanks for watching, guys.